Okay, that was stupid. But the end is near for the Rebirth event. And actually, it's kind of odd because there seems to be an unnamed extension for this Rebirth event. Today, I want to run down briefly here with you what this means, what you should be doing before the next Warzone update, and what's all looking to be on the horizon here. So as we go along, let me know your thoughts down below. What do you guys think here of this Rebirth event? Have you liked it so far? Have you completed everything that you need to? Are you excited there's a little bit more time here, whether intentional or not, that you can play around with and earn some more items here? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know your thoughts. As well, if you are new to the channel, do be sure to hit the subscribe button. We're on the road to 400,000 subscribers, and we'll keep you up to date with all things Warzone, Cold War, and anything COD related. So if you're interested in joining the community, I'd love to have you. That said, let's talk about the end of the Rebirth event. So the Rebirth event, a little extra added incentive to play Rebirth Island here since the season began within Warzone, introducing us to the new experience, the new smaller map here, and what we'll have on offer for Warzone going forward. For the last 20 days or so, it allowed us to go in and complete challenges, 16 of them in particular, to of course try and complete that event itself. Along with that, we of course got new game modes throughout this. We ended up getting some free emblems, some free blueprints, and things alike. But that is something that if you logged on today, you may have noticed that it was something going away, except it actually didn't. Initially, I kind of had these plans to tell you what changed as a result of it, but we actually can now shift to the focus of this is actually ending, and so you want to take advantage of this while you have the opportunity to do so. Now, if you have completed everything here with this event, of course, you're entirely good to go. Doesn't really matter, but if you're like me, you may still have some stuff to do. So if you've yet to take full advantage of the Rebirth Island event here, of course, there are going to be a few things going away whenever this actually does go away, such as that, of course, overall tab of the Rebirth event within the Warzone menu, that free blueprint bundle that you could end up redeeming from day one of the Rebirth event, that free emblem that came along with it, and then of course some challenge rewards like your BRB calling card, your corrosive weapon charm, the reborn weapon charm, some other smaller items, then of course some things like the noxious RPD blueprint, and the overall reward of the hazardous blueprint for the Krig 6. Now, this is something that offers some cool rewards, but some of the challenges are definitely some ones that may take some time. And if you haven't started all of them, you might be in a little bit of a jam if you want to. Like for me, just simply getting 30 kills with a legendary weapon on Rebirth Island is going to be incredibly hard to do because I'm only halfway through that. 20 minutes of flying time is going to be a pain as well. And same thing with destroying vehicles and the common weapon kills as well. So those are ones that may be a little bit tougher. Can you do them? Absolutely, but it's just going to take a little bit of grinding. But the event itself is actually still live. Again, as we mentioned, it took a little bit of a turn here with this. It's like how Modern Warfare Season 6 was at 0 seconds before receiving an extension. Same thing happened here with the Rebirth event. If you look at it right now, assuming no changes have been made after this video has been created and gone up, the Rebirth event actually currently sits at 0 seconds remaining, but is still there and still seems to be available that you can end up progressing your challenge unlocks that go along with it. So what that means is that you still have some time to complete this stuff, and likely until the next refresh, which if we take a look at the normal schedule for Call of Duty, is probably going to be something that happens as of tomorrow. So definitely carve some time out if you have the availability and if you care at all about these items if you haven't completed it already. But with tomorrow's playlist refresh being scheduled as normal, that's likely when I would expect it to overturn here and we return back to an air quote normal state for Call of Duty and Warzone. Is it possible that we end up getting an extension here for this? I guess in theory, yes, but I'm also not expecting it. These limited time modes are meant to be just that, limited within Warzone, so I don't see them being extended as a season was here beforehand, especially because there's still a lot of content throughout the coming season that it's not like we're delaying new content outside of that. It's just this limited time mode as opposed to an entire season. So I wouldn't expect this to be extended, though I guess it is possible. But again, I think tomorrow we'll see this kind of refresh in this last 24 hours or so isn't necessarily meant to happen. It was just a byproduct of the odd Wednesday release for Season 1 rather than Tuesday. As for the update tomorrow, though, that's the big question mark on, I'm sure, what a lot of people are thinking and wondering about, because while this is an update that definitely could be something that overturns the Rebirth Island event and is something that brings us back to a sense of normalcy, will that be something that it's also accompanied by a genuine update, not just a playlist refresh? The biggest question on probably a lot of players' minds is, will this come along with weapon tuning? Because if you've played Warzone at all, chances are you've experienced the DMR, MAC-10, and Diamatti metas, and if you're like me, you're a bit tired of it. Even if it is something that you end up using, it just gets boring to use those 3 weapons out of all 91 in Warzone. So the question is will this also be a title update? So the thing is, Treyarch are now back in the office. They got back in this week, and that means that it is technically possible, but it really is dependent on if there was any framework and groundwork done for these tuning passes to weapons before the holiday break. Is it something that they're just starting on it now and getting a grasp on adjusting these values, then have to playtest it and reevaluate, playtest some more before sending to a live environment? That's the big question mark that we don't know. And my big fear, unfortunately, is that we're not going to see any adjustments here in this week, but instead, maybe not until a week later or two later, which at that point would be when we see the actual midpoint of the season, to which we'd probably see the mid-season event go along at that point. My big hope, of course, is that this actually goes through in a much faster environment than that of waiting another 2 weeks, but that's the big question mark, and tomorrow will bring those answers, it seems like, but for now, we just don't know. I think regardless of what we end up seeing being introduced as of tomorrow in terms of adjustments, it will definitely be odd because we're going to see things go away for potentially 2 weeks here in total. We end up seeing that, of course, we do have that changeover likely happening with Rebirth as of tomorrow. If we don't get any weapon tuning, that'll have to be something that waits until maybe at least 1 week later, but we'll have that span of time where it's going to be smaller updates once again up until, again, probably 2 weeks from now, in which we have that mid-season update. Now, that's quite a long limbo period, especially because right now to start Season 1, Cold War didn't really have all that much, Warzone didn't really have all that much, we didn't have too many blockbuster items coming out within those 2 week intervals that we had normally seen. So 3 weeks through still, we of course only really had that launch content for Season 1, so it also may unfortunately just be a slow couple of weeks here. But I think that's where we're going to wrap it up. I wanted to just casually talk with you guys about what you need to do here before what is likely the refresh tomorrow that takes away the Rebirth event within Warzone and Black Ops Cold War. Whatever happens as of tomorrow in terms of the update, of course, we'll keep you up to date here on the channel, but make sure you end up completing that Rebirth event, get that free blueprint, get that free emblem for simply logging in, and of course then maybe if you can complete all your challenges so you can get not only just that noxious RPD blueprint, but also that hazardous Krig 6 blueprint, because I think it does look pretty cool. It's up there in terms of one of the better blueprints that we've seen so far introduced. If that holds up as the main year of content goes on, who knows, but for right now, try and get that while you can, and also because you can probably classify that as one of the rarer items within Black Ops Cold War and Warzone in a couple of months' time. But that's where we're going to wrap it up, so I'd love to get your thoughts and feedback down there in the comment section down below. Are you guys looking forward to what's after this Rebirth event? Have you completed all the items that go along with it? Whatever it is, feel free to let me know your thoughts down below. But hopefully you enjoyed the video. If you did, make sure to drop a like down below, and of course, if you are new to the channel, make sure you guys subscribe so I'm a single thing running all things Black Ops Cold War, Warzone, and anything COD related. If you're interested in any of that, hit the subscribe button. If you also want to follow me over on Twitter and Instagram, those are the best places to get connected outside of YouTube. Practically live on both those. If you guys want to check my conversation, ask me a question, whatever it may be, that link is down there in the description below. But let's set out of the way. Thank you guys all so much for watching. My name is Espresso. I'll see you guys later. Take care and peace.